Please sleepy after breakfast. A good sleep meal. A good biochemistry after an hour is so boring, isn't it? Yes. So what do you do? Anybody have it in your syllabus? Have a paper as biochemistry. So today we start with enzymes. So other chemistry part will be boring for you all, isn't it? What are topics madam has covered? So what are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are the richest source of energy. So you have three biomolecules. What are the three biomolecules? Carbohydrates, fats and proteins. So of all these three biomolecules, which gives more energy? Carbohydrates. Fats. Okay, name some sources of carbohydrates. What is the common source of carbohydrate which you have daily, which you take into diet? Right. So that is one of the important major source of carbohydrates. And fats, we have oil, ghee, and mainly the animal sources of fats. These are the fats. Proteins, pulses, cereals, all these are proteins. So when you compare these three biomolecules compared to that of carbohydrates, fats and proteins, so carbohydrate is the immediate source of energy. So we compare with that of fats and proteins, so immediately carbohydrate will be absorbed. So that is why what you give, when you give bricks you give dextrose, that is the immediate source that can be easily absorbed and taken up by the cells and tissues. And same way, so if a person is being tired after a long run, so what do they give immediately? What do they give? Suppose athletic is running, they are feeling so tired and fainting. So what is given to them?
Glucose.
Glucose, fat or protein?
Glucose.
Glucose is given. So glucose is the source that can be easily absorbed. So whether we are taking in carbohydrate, fat or protein, finally everything has to be converted to glucose, because that is the simplest form and easiest form that can be absorbed by the tissues. Next, coming to the fats. So fats are the richest source of energy. They provide more calories. Fats provide more calories, but it takes some time for the process of digestion and absorption. Then proteins are the building blocks of tissues. So compared to that of carbohydrates and fats, proteins have various functions. They have diversified functions. So can I give some example for proteins?
Proteins.
So if we start from the head to toe, we have protein. So what is present in hair? So keratin is present in hair, it is a protein. Then when you come to your eyes, the lens protein present in the lens of the eye. And we have the muscle protein. Collagen is the muscle protein. And then we have the, for muscle contraction, for movement of your hands, you have the muscle contraction, actin and myosin, which are the protein molecules which help in the muscular movement. So mainly you have, so compared to carbohydrates and fats, the functions of proteins are varied. So they have various functions. And what are the other protein functions you know? You have hemoglobin, which is a carrier molecule, transporter of oxygen. That is mainly required for the respiration for the tissues. And then you have immunoglobulin, which helps in the defense mechanism. So major functions are mainly carried out by the proteins, which are the building blocks of the tissue. So this is about the three biomolecules what we studied. So now when these three biomolecules are taken through diet, so they will take in different forms. For example, carbohydrate you take in the form of rice, potato. There is a common source which you take in through diet. So fats we take the animal sources, or we take the oil, ghee, and some form of invisible fats like badam. So they have the invisible fats, not like oil. So badam, and then we have the all the groundnut, all these contain the invisible fats. And what are the sources of proteins? The cereals, pulses, and we have the animal protein sources there, the animal muscle proteins. So all these are taken through diet. So when you take these three biomolecules in diet, what is the aim for taking all these in diet? So why do we take diet? Why do we eat? What is the purpose? Finally to get energy. So energy is formed in in which form? In the form of ATP molecules. So energy is converted, finally it is acquired in the form of
ATP molecules.
to various processes. So when we take in these biomolecules in diet, they cannot be absorbed as such. So for example, if you take rice, it has the complex carbohydrate starch, or potato if you take, so both are the sources of starch. So what are the other sources? We have the sugar which we take in, then we have honey, all these are the sources of carbohydrates. So when we take it, they cannot be absorbed as such. So potato, the starch that is present in the potato and rice cannot be absorbed as such as starch. It has to be converted into a simpler molecule so that it can be easily taken up by the tissues as a source of energy. So same way, fats also, fat cannot be directly absorbed in the form of fat. It has to be converted to the simpler form that will be easily absorbed. Protein also, it is a even more complex structure because protein form the structural elements of the tissues for skin tonicity we have. That is why we have all the facial things we have which contains collagen. So that is responsible for maintaining the tonicity of the skin. So if the collagen synthesis is deficient, if that particular protein collagen is deficient, what happens? That will lead to the wrinkles in the muscles. So protein plays an important role. So whatever be the biomolecule which you take into diet, they cannot be absorbed as such as taken up by the tissues for forming the energy. They have to be converted to another form, that is the simplest form that can be easily taken up by the tissues. So in the process of conversion, so which is the simplest form I told you, glucose is the simplest form that can be absorbed. So if you take fat and if you take the protein also, they have to be converted to glucose. So the simplest form that will be easily absorbed by the tissues is glucose. So even in the case of absence of glucose, for example, a person is fasting. So you have many politicians, others, I am going to fast for this particular cause. So what happens, even if they are fasting, what happens, they still survive. Isn't it? If you undergo fasting for 10 days or 15 days, they still survive. So the reason is that even if carbohydrate is not taken in, what happens, the fat that is stored in the adipose tissue will be broken down and converted to glucose as a source of energy. Or if a person doesn't have enough of fat, because all of them won't have more amount of fat in the diet. Isn't it? Some of them may be vegetarian, they don't take more amount of amino sources in the diet. Same way the protein, so if the protein is taken in diet, so that will also be converted to glucose. So from the tissues, protein will be broken down because protein are the building blocks of tissue. So protein will be broken down and converted to glucose. So finally, the conversion must occur from the complex form into the simplest form for the source of energy. So this is brought about with the help of a particular group of substances called as enzymes. So the process of digestion, absorption and then metabolism. So this can be brought about only with the presence of enzymes. So enzymes are proteins in nature. So if you take the structure of carbohydrates, fats and proteins, proteins have a complex structure. Isn't it? We learned about the three-dimensional structure of protein. So protein has a primary, secondary, tertiary, and in some cases we have the quaternary structure. Highly specialized proteins we have a quaternary structure. So all the structures maintained, that's why we have more proteins. As I told you, where we find proteins starting from the hair, the lens of the eye, for muscular contraction, actin, myosin, and for collagen, for tonicity of the skin, and immunoglobulins, antibodies that are produced, hemoglobin, which is a carrier molecule of oxygen, all these are protein molecules. So many amount of protein molecules are there. So if they are present as the, so what is the basic structure of protein molecules? So what are proteins made up of? Proteins are made up of amino acids. So amino acids are interlinked by the peptide bond. So the amino acids are arranged in a sequence which are interlinked by the peptide bond to form a protein molecule. So now we saw protein as various functions. Isn't it? So how many proteins we need? Many protein molecules we need for the muscle contraction. So if all these protein molecules are present as a linear chain, will the space be enough in our body? No. That is why they are more compact structure. They are folded to form the three-dimensional compact structure. So only when the protein has a compact structure, two-dimensional structure, it is biologically functional. It can perform its biological function properly. So what are the biological functions? It's all hemoglobin. So it's a carrier as well as the, what is heme? What is the coloring matter? Red color. So it is a chromoprotein. So protein which has the color as well as helps in the transport of oxygen. Then we have the plasma proteins. So what are the plasma proteins? Albumin, globulin and fibrinogen are the plasma proteins which help to maintain the osmotic pressure. And then we have the immunoglobulins which help in the defense mechanism. If any foreign organism enters, it helps to fight against that organism. So they are called as the antibodies. So all these proteins are present. All these functions are performed only if the protein is compact structure. It has a three-dimensional structure so that it will occupy minimum space and has the maximum biological function. So enzymes are protein molecules in nature. So when we saw that we take in carbohydrate, fats and proteins to diet. So for the conversion of carbohydrate or fat or protein into the simpler molecules, a large process is required. Directly it cannot be converted to glucose. So starch directly cannot be converted. So it has to undergo various metabolic process. So it requires various enzymes. At each and every step they require enzymes. So it cannot be a carbohydrate or fat because fats are highly insoluble. So it cannot be digested. So enzymes are protein molecules in nature so that they occupy minimum space and they perform the functions as enzymes. So another important function of protein is they function as enzymes and they can also function as hormones. So compared to carbohydrates and proteins which has more diversified functions, protein has more diversified functions. One such protein is enzyme. So we'll see about the enzyme. So what is enzyme? What are the different properties of enzymes? So enzymes are proteins in nature. So that is the first definition. And enzymes act as biological catalysts. So they are biocatalysts. So what are the catalysts? So chemically you might have learned in plus 2, isn't it? So what is a catalyst?
That helps conversion.
Any substance which accelerates or increases the rate of reaction is called as a catalyst. So enzymes are biocatalysts or biological catalysts. So which catalyze the reactions taking place in the human biological system. That is why they are called as the biocatalyst or biological catalyst. So definition of enzyme is it acts as a biological catalyst and they are proteins in nature. So they are neither carbohydrate or fats, they are proteins in nature. So enzymes have various functions. So same way why they are proteins in nature? Because they have so many enzymes are required. Some hundreds, thousands of enzymes are required. You need for digestion of carbohydrate, digestion of fat, digestion of protein and further conversion. So no reaction is complete without the presence of enzymes. So enzymes play a very important role in the metabolic process and enzymes are biocatalysts which are proteins in nature. So this is the definition for enzymes. So enzymes are biocatalysts or biological catalysts which are proteins in nature. Now this enzyme must have some important function because they help in the digestion. So many enzymes are present. So first and foremost thing is all enzymes must not be active at the same time. Isn't it? So when you take carbohydrate in the diet, so only that enzymes must be active. So when you take fat, only that particular enzymes must be active. And same way, so now you have your lunch, isn't it? So now you have the process of digestion going on in your body. So the process of digestion and absorption is going on. Next is enter into the metabolic pathway to form the ATP molecules that will give you energy. So this is the normal routine protocol which is formulated. So now when you take in this enzyme to diet, so for example, the enzymes will be active only for the process of digestion. So once the digestion process is over, what will happen? The digestive enzymes will stop their activity. So next, the other enzymes will be activated. For absorption, enzymes will be activated. And once it is absorbed, those enzymes will be inactivated. Then for the various metabolic process, for which pathway it enters, for which cycle it enters. So those enzymes will be activated. So all enzymes are not active at all times. So only when it is required, it is activated and utilized. For example, now we are having diet. So these enzymes need not be active when you are sleeping. So night when you go to sleep, there is no work for the digestion enzymes. So once the process of digestion is over, those enzymes need not be active. Same way the metabolic process, when it goes, the other enzymes need not be active. So the enzymes, all enzymes must not be active at all times. So all these enzymes are secreted in the inactive form. So first all the enzymes are secreted in the inactive form, and only when it is required, it is utilized for the particular type of reaction. So this is one important property of enzymes. If all the enzymes are active, what will happen? Suppose digestive enzymes are active, the metabolic reactions enzymes are active. So what will happen? So finally, those will leak into the cells and that will damage the cells, it cause the cell injury. So any enzymes, so they are activated only when it is required. So the inactive form of the enzyme is called as zymogen. So zymogens are the inactive form of enzymes. So any enzyme will end with GEN. That is why it is called as zymogen. For example, if you take enzymes from which help in protein digestion for the breakdown of proteins. So the enzymes will, for example, pepsin. So pepsin is the enzyme. The inactive form of pepsin is pepsinogen. So it ends with GEN. Same way for chymotrypsin, it is chymotrypsinogen. So this for trypsin it is trypsinogen. So the inactive form, so all the enzymes will be secreted in the inactive form first. So enzymes are what molecules? Carbohydrates, fats or proteins? What did I tell you? Enzymes are biocategories which are proteins in nature. So enzymes are protein molecules. So they have a sequence of amino acids. So they are converted from the inactive form to the active form when it is required. The inactive form of the enzyme is called as zymogen. So when they converted from inactive to active form, what will happen? So any modification will occur. Isn't it? So if it is converted from inactive to active form, some changes must occur. So what is a protein molecule? Consists of a sequence of amino acids. So either by the removal of one amino acid or by the addition of another amino acid, they will be converted from the inactive form to the active form. So, for example, if we have 10 amino acids, so 2 amino acids will be removed. Then it will be converted to the active form. So, all the inactive form of enzymes end with GEN. So, chymotrypsinogen, pepsinogen, trypsinogen. So, all these are the inactive forms. The active forms are, we just remove the last 3 words, okay, the last 3 letters. So, chymotrypsin, pepsin, trypsin. So, all these are the active form of the enzymes. So, all enzymes are secreted in the inactive form, and it is required, only when it is required, it is converted from the inactive form to the active form. That is one way of controlling the enzyme activity. Otherwise, what will happen? All the enzymes will be active at all times. So you take only the protein diet. So you don't need of the enzymes which help in the digestion of carbohydrates. Isn't it? When you take only protein diet. Same way when you take in a carbohydrate diet, there is no need for the enzyme which is required for fat digestion. So that has no work in the digestion of carbohydrates. So only when they are required, they are converted from the inactive form to the active form. That is one way of controlling the enzyme activity. So all enzymes are not active at all times, and all the enzymes are secreted in the inactive form, which is called as zymogen, and only when it is required, converted from the inactive form to the active form. So So that conversion can be by the removal of one amino acid or two amino acids or three amino acids, depending upon what type of enzyme it is. And another important property of enzyme is that, so even after the completion of a reaction, so enzymes are catalysts which accelerate or increase the rate of the biological reactions. So ordinary catalysts will increase the rate of a chemical reaction. But enzymes are biocatalysts, so they will accelerate or increase the rate of the biological system. The reactions are taking place in a biological system. So they are called as the biocatalysts. So when they are converted when the enzyme undergoes the reaction, this they help in the formation of the product at an earlier rate. That is the meaning for accelerating the reaction. So whatever product is required will be formed at a faster rate in the presence of enzymes. That is the main function of the enzyme. They act as biological catalysts. So even after the completion of the reaction, the enzyme will be in the same form as it was in the original form. Before the reaction, how it is the same way even after the completion of the reaction. Even at the end of the reaction, the enzyme can be retained in the same free form. That is one important advantage of enzymes. So that enzyme again can be used for another reaction. So that is the important property of the enzymes. And the other important property is they are specific in nature. So you have what is the bond between two amino acids called as peptide bond. What is the bond between two sugars called as glycosidic bond? So if enzyme is acting, it will be only for glycosidic bond. It is specific only for that particular bond. Or what are the other bonds that are present in proteins? We have the ionic bond, van der Waals forces, we have studied the structure of proteins. So enzymes are specific in nature. They break only that particular bond. They don't go and break the other bonds. That is another important property. So what is the first important property of enzymes? Even after the completion of the reaction, the enzyme can be retained in the original free form and it can be utilized for another set of reactions. And second one is enzymes are highly specific in nature. So they act only on specific bonds. They don't go and attack on the other bonds. So by breaking the bonds, they form the required product. So whenever you write any metabolic reaction, the name of the enzyme is important. Okay. So when you learn the metabolism also, you should write the name of the enzyme. You need not write the structure for all the products that are formed, but you have to write the name of the enzyme. If you don't write the name of the enzyme, mark will be reduced. Because without enzyme, no reactions can occur. So if the enzyme acts, it will be converted from the raw material to the product what we require. From the reactant, we have the product that is formed. So finally, what is formed? ATP molecules are formed finally. So these are the important properties of enzymes. The first one is they can be obtained in the free form. Even after the completion of the reaction, the enzyme will be obtained in the free form, so that can be utilized for the other set of reactions. And then they are highly specific in nature. They act only on specific bonds. So that is the other important property of enzymes. And enzymes are mainly labile in nature. So easily they cannot be destroyed. Enzymes cannot be easily destroyed. And mostly the enzymes are proteins. So what is the important property of proteins? Can anyone tell? What happens during boiling of egg? After boiling of the egg, can you get back the original raw egg?
No.
So what type it is? What type of reaction you call it as?
No.
Have you heard of denaturation?
Yes, ma'am.
So denaturation is the losing of the native structure of the protein molecule. The primary structure of the protein molecule remains, secondary tertiary structure is disturbed. So you have the two different types. So enzymes are proteins in nature, so they will undergo denaturation. So these are the different properties of enzymes. Enzymes are specific in nature, and even after the completion of the reaction, the enzymes can be obtained in the free form. That is the same form, and it can be utilized for the set of reactions. So if you take a general enzyme catalyzed reactions, that is the general reaction takes place. this is the general enzyme catalyzed reaction. So this is a free enzyme. So free enzyme will combine with the substrate to form the enzyme substrate complex. So this complex will be formed. So first is the reversible type of reaction. So it can be reversed. And then finally the enzyme substrate complex will break down to form the free enzyme and the required product. So this is the general mechanism of enzyme action. So if you take this first reaction is a reversible reaction, or the second reaction is a irreversible reaction. So once the product is formed, it cannot get like the free enzyme. But once first one is the reversible reaction, the formation of enzyme substrate complex is a reversible reaction, whereas the formation of the product, the free enzyme and the product is irreversible reaction. So what is the important property of enzyme we told? So even after the completion of the reaction, the enzyme can be obtained in the free form. So even after the reaction is complete, we have the enzyme that is obtained in the free form. That is one important advantage or a specific property of the enzyme. So even after the completion of the reaction, the free enzyme is retained in the same form so that it can be utilized for the other set of metabolic reactions. And enzymes are highly specific in nature. They act on specific bonds and they are highly specific in nature. They do not act on all of them. So these are the important properties of enzymes. So what is the definition for enzymes? So the enzymes are biocatalysts or biological catalysts which have performed the various metabolic reactions. And then next one is they are the proteins in nature. So what type of biomolecule they are? Proteins in nature. And then we saw about the form of zymogen. So the inactive phase, many enzymes are present. So all enzymes need not be active at all times. So the enzymes, so in order to control the rate of enzyme. So what happens if all 1000 enzymes are active? So finally it will affect the cells. It will lead to the cells and the tissues will be affected. So all the enzymes are secreted in the inactive form first. It is called a zymogen. Example is chymotrypsinogen, trypsinogen and pepsinogen. And only when they are required, they are converted from the inactive form to the active form. So that is another important property of enzymes. And all the enzymes, the general enzyme catalyzed reaction is enzyme combines with the substrate molecule. Substrate can be any molecule. The enzyme combines with the substrate molecule to form the enzyme substrate complex. So this is the reversible reaction in which you find the formation of enzyme substrate complex. This enzyme substrate complex is the unstable product that is formed. So immediately it will break down into the free enzyme and the required product. So now the free enzyme can be obtained again in the original form that can be utilized for the other set of reactions. These are the important properties of enzymes. So general mechanism is that enzyme combines with the substrate, and this enzyme, so how it acts as like a biocatalyst. So if you take the graph, so this graph represents the rate of the reaction. So when the enzyme combined with the substrate molecule and the reaction rate of the reaction increase and reach a maximum point. So this maximum point is called as the E-act or activation energy of the enzyme. So if a product has to be formed, it has to cross the maximum energy level to form the required product. This is like climbing a hill. So when you climb the hill, what will happen? So initially you can climb fast, isn't it? Once when you go on the top, what will happen? It takes some time. You can't walk faster. As you walk down the plains, you can't walk faster. So when you go high, you require more energy. If you reach the top of the hill, you require more energy. So only if you reach this maximum energy, again you can climb down. Same way when the product is formed. So when enzyme combines with the substrate, it has to cross that maximum energy. That energy is called as the activation energy or E-act. So only if it crosses the activation energy, finally slowly it will decompose and form the enzyme and required product. So how enzyme activates this reaction? So how they act as catalysts. We told that enzymes are biocatalysts, isn't it? So these enzymes, what will they do? They will lower the activation. So this is without enzyme. So this is with the enzyme. So this E-active or the activation energy will be lowered. So see the difference. So it will lower the activation energy. So if the activation energy is low, what happens? Suppose you want to climb a small hill. Naturally, if you climb at a faster rate than that of a hill which is more at a more height. So this is the way the enzyme will help increase the rate of the reaction. So what is the main function of enzyme? We told what is the definition? Enzymes act as biocatalysts, biological catalysts. So they must catalyze the reaction. So they must speed up the rate of the reaction. So suppose if enzymes are not, what will happen? Carbohydrates will take slow time for digestion. Take half a day for digestion of carbohydrates. So can you get energy immediately? No. So that is the reason why enzymes will accelerate or decrease the rate of the reaction. So how it increases the rate of the reaction? By lowering the activation energy. So easily the product can be formed at a faster rate. So this side is for formation of the product. So here we have the product that is formed. Which product will going to be formed on this side? So when it lowers the activation energy, so at a faster rate it can reach the maximum energy and the product can be formed at a faster rate. So this is the basis for enzyme catalyzed reaction. So in the presence of enzyme, so enzymes act as biocatalysts. So how they act as biocatalysts? By lowering the activation energy and increasing the time for increasing the rate of formation of the required product at a faster rate. So these are the introductory part of the enzyme. So what are enzymes? Then we have the zymogen. What is the inactive form of the enzyme is called zymogen. And then what are the important properties of enzymes? So even after the completion of the reaction, they can be obtained in the same form, free form, and then they are highly specific in nature. And then the general enzyme catalyzed reaction is enzyme combines with the substrate to form enzyme substrate complex. So this enzyme substrate complex is highly unstable, and first reaction is a reversible reaction. So the unstable product enzyme substrate complex will decompose immediately to form the free enzyme and the required product. So that is a reversible type of reaction. So first reaction is reversible, second one is irreversible type of reaction. So finally the enzymes act as biocatalyst by lowering the activation energy. So only after reaching the activation energy the product can be formed. The product can be formed slowly. So if that is lower, the product will be formed at a faster rate, which is achieved by presence of the enzymes. So mainly have the digestive enzymes, as I told you, all enzymes will not be active at all times. Only this is why they converted from the inactive form zymogen to the active form, and they act as biological catalysts by lowering the activation energy, and they are the protein molecules in nature. So that is very important. So they are biocatalysts which are proteins in nature. So this is about the introduction. So then next we will see about what are the mechanism of enzyme action. So this is a general mechanism. So whatever mechanism, whatever theory is proposed, the general mechanism of enzyme action is enzyme combines with the substrate reversibly to form enzyme substrate complex. This enzyme substrate complex is unstable, which will decompose to form the free enzyme and the required product, that is a irreversible reaction. So this is the reaction taking place in presence of the enzyme. So enzymes act as biological catalyst by lowering the activation energy. So based upon this we have two different mechanisms which is the mechanism of enzyme action. Two different theories to explain the mechanism of enzyme action. So one is the lock and key model and other one is the induced fit model. So then we see about what are the different types of enzyme inhibition. Inhibition is, you know that the enzyme activity will be good. So suppose you have 10 metabolic reactions. So finally ATP is formed out, the required product is formed. So you know glycolysis, do you remember glycolysis? We started in school days, breakdown of glucose. So what is formed? So glucose is the first one, this is the initial product. So finally what does glucose form? Breakdown of glucose will form leads to formation of what is the product formed when glucose is broken up? Pyruvate. So glucose forms pyruvate. So at each and every step you require enzymes. So without enzymes the reactions cannot occur. They may be either reversible or irreversible reactions. So without enzymes the reactions cannot occur. So you have the enzymes are specific in nature and they are only for the carbohydrate metabolic process. So This enzyme activity must be, so when if any enzyme activity is stopped, what will happen? So you have a series of reactions going on. So when the reactions are taking place, suppose one enzyme is completely inactive or is completely blocked due to any external factors like any poisoning or any pollution, we have the enzymes that are, or due to any drugs which you take and the enzyme is getting blocked, what will happen? At that particular point, the product will not be converted to the next product. You just stop that and it's more circulation of that particular product where the enzyme is deficient. That will lead to the various disorders and diseases. So, if we are normal, it is due to the normal functioning of all the enzymes. Thousands of enzymes that are present in our body. We have normal digestion of carbohydrates, fats and proteins. And only when required, they are converted from the inactive form to the active form. So, what is the inactive form of enzyme? Zymogen is the inactive form of enzyme. And only when it is required, it is converted and taken to the place where it has to act. So, that is important property of the enzymes. This is the outline of the enzymes chapter. So, what is the introduction, definition, what are the important properties of enzymes? So, next further we will see what is enzyme inhibition, then what are the two theories which affect the enzyme inhibition, and what are the mechanism of enzyme action, and then what are the different types of enzyme inhibition, and why we study about these enzymes. So, now we may wonder, okay, enzyme is like one type of carbohydrate or fat, okay, they help in digestion. So, one important property is that these enzymes in certain diseases, these enzymes are used as biomarkers. For example, in case a person is suffering from myocardial infarction, there is a heart attack. So, first let's see these enzymes which will increase. So, they indicate the severity of the myocardial infarction. So, same way liver diseases can be identified if the liver is not proper. So, those enzymes will leak into the tissues and that level will increase in the blood. So, we can find out that the person is suffering from liver diseases. So, that is the importance of studying the enzymes. So, they are clinically very useful to identify various diseases. So, certain enzymes increase certain diseases. That is the clinical significance of enzymes. That is the reason why. So, before that, we should know what are enzymes, so how enzymes act, and what are the two mechanisms. So, what is enzyme inhibition? So, all these will be studied in the next class. We will study all this. This is the introduction, definition, all the important properties of enzyme, what is the general mechanism of enzyme action.